here? Huh? Okay.
Sit up, Emma.
Okay, if you have your Bibles,
Okay, man.
Won't be using them, but
Bible is in my walker.
I've been informed the cast is ready.
The cast is ready.
All right, for those of you who are familiar with our Vacation Bible School, our theme this year was the IncrediWorld Amazement Park. We had a good time with that. And Jane, as she did the last year or 2 years? Last year, has written a follow-up Christmas play to the Vacation Bible School theme. And so welcome back to IncrediWorld. And some things, a little bit has changed, and we're going to find out what else has happened, but it's Christmas at the amusement park. And so with no further ado, I will turn it over to the cast.
Oh, hey, look, it's the extreme team. I'm going to stop and listen.
Welcome to the Great Amazement Park. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Cody.
Welcome to the Extreme Team.
Yay!
Today we have an interesting topic for you. Normally we talk about animals, but today we're going to talk about plants. God made some amazing plants on day 3. Some that you can only see with a microscope, and some that grow 3 feet in one day.
I know that one. Bamboo.
Right, but today we're going to talk about trees.
Yeah.
There are 2 main types of trees. Deciduous, those that lose their leaves in the fall, and
Carnivorous.
carnivorous.
Yes. Carnivorous.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm sure. I even got a picture of a rare carnivorous tree. See? You didn't know.
I don't think so. I think you mean coniferous. Those that have cones.
Oh, yeah.
There's no tree that is carnivorous that eat each other.
And I guess their bark is worse than the bite.
Wow. Getting back to today's topic. Wow. We're talking about evergreen trees.
But wait, Gabe. There's no tree that's really named evergreen. Evergreen is a group of trees that has a couple things in common.
You're right. They have cones, needles, and they stay green all year long.
Yeah.
Just as the name is, evergreen.
Yeah. When we think of evergreen, there are many types of evergreen trees. Condorcet pine, jack. Yeah, I think it's jack. Yeah, jack pine. Douglas fir. Red cedar, yellow cedar, blue spruce. Ouch. Hemlock. The list goes on.
But normally when we think of these trees, we think about Christmas trees.
Christmas trees. Yeah.
Everyone has their favorite type of Christmas trees. We have a few things to say about these Christmas trees.
Yeah, there are lots of different types of Christmas tree, and everybody wants the perfect tree. Oh.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Miss Ryan. Everybody say hey, hi. Hey, hi.
There you are.
Miss Ryan, the new head of the amazement park.
Hi.
How are ya?
How's it going?
Mr. Peterson went to Africa to start a new amazement park, and Miss Ryan is now the head man.
Woman.
Head woman. The one in charge.
Let's give her a hand.
Oh, very much for coming to the amazement park today. I hate to interrupt the extreme team, but we have a big surprise for you all. Someone very special is coming to tell a very special story.
That's me! You have that almost right, dearie. I have a special story that we are gonna share. The story of the 3 trees. I'll start. Let me find my page.
treasure. I want to be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. I'll be the most beautiful treasure chest in the world.
The second little tree looked out on a small stream trickling by on its way out into the ocean.
I want to travel mighty waters and carry powerful kings. I'll be the strongest ship in the world.
The third little tree looked down into the valley where busy men and women worked in a busy town.
I don't want to leave the mountaintop at all. I want to grow so tall that when people stop to look at me, they'll raise their eyes to heaven and think of God. I will be the tallest tree in the world.
Years passed. The rain came, the sun shone, and the little trees grew tall. One day, 3 woodcutters climbed the mountain. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree and said,
This tree is beautiful. It's perfect for me.
with the swoop of his shining axe, the first tree fell.
The first tree fell.
I'm going to be made into a treasure chest and hold wonderful treasure.
The second woodcutter looked at the second tree and said,
This tree is strong. It's perfect for me.
with the swoop of his shining axe, the second tree fell.
Now I shall sail mighty waters. I shall be a strong ship for mighty kings.
The third tree felt his heart sink when the last woodcutter looked his way. He stood straight and tall and pointed bravely to heaven, but the woodcutter never even looked up.
Any tree is perfect for me.
With a swoop of her shining axe, the third tree fell. The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought her to a carpenter shop, but the carpenter fashioned her into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold or treasure. She was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry farm animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took him to a shipyard, but no mighty sailing ship was made that day. Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and awed into a simple fishing boat. He was too small and too weak to sail to an ocean or even a river. Instead, he was taken to a little lake. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut him into strong beams and left him in a lumber yard.
What happened? All I ever wanted was to stay on the mountaintop and point to God.
Many days and nights passed. The 3 trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box.
I wish I could make a cradle for him. This manger is beautiful and sturdy.
And suddenly, the first tree knew she was holding the greatest treasure in all the world. One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into an old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as the second tree quietly sailed into the lake. Soon, a thundering and thrashing storm arose. The little tree shuddered. She knew that he did not have the strength to carry so many passengers safely through the wind and the rain. The tired man awoke. Peace! The storm stopped as quickly as it had begun. And suddenly, the second tree knew he was carrying the king of heaven and earth.
One Friday morning, the third tree was startled when his beams were yanked from the forgotten wood pile. He flinched as he was carried through an angry, jeering crowd. He shuddered when soldiers nailed a man's hand to hurt him. He felt ugly and harsh and cruel. But on Sunday morning, when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath him, the third tree knew that God's love had changed everything. It had made the third tree strong, and every time people thought of the third tree, they would think of God. That was better than being the tallest tree in the world.
The perfect tree grew very long ago, and it was not
All right, I want you guys to come back up on the stage and stand. Let us give you another hand, okay? Then come out from behind the thing and everybody come out.